Okay guys, I thought I'd redo a video on using the 22 for concealed carry, personal protection, or even home defense. Now, first off, I'm not an expert, right? I'm a guy that goes, I do shooting, I handle guns, head to the range every now and then, and I have basic reasoning skills. So I guess that'd be my credentials. That's it. Right, my opinion. But first off, the 22 is not the first choice for self-defense due to the lack of stopping power. Right? However, you have excellent shot placement because there's almost no recoil, which is just as important, if not more so, than stopping power. Shot placement. If you get a guy, you barely skin him with a big old 50 cal, well, it's not going to do much. You just graze his arm. But in the chest with a 22, that's going to do more damage. Like they're saying, you do more damage with a BB gun that hits somebody than a cannonball that misses. Right? Kind of the same idea. Now, there's lots of keyboard commandos out there that say stuff like, well, if I got shot with a 22, I would just get mad. However, I've yet to see a video where one of these guys backs that claim up. The 22 kills more people in the US per year than any other caliber. And I think it's because there's two reasons. First off, there's tons of them out there. And second, because it gets compared to like a Daisy BB gun or something. People say, well, it's just because there's a lot of them out there. However, if it kills more people, the 22 kills more people a year than any other caliber, that proves that it is lethal. Correct? Now, what I'd recommend, personally, from personal experience, would be the Ruger SR22. It's very reliable. There's a couple of good ones out there, and there's some that are not so good. It's I'd say a step up from the Ruger Mark II and III. Doesn't have quite the longer barrel that I like, but it seems to be a little bit more reliable. Not by leaps and bounds, just a little bit. And I mean, that's what you want. Center fire kind of has feeding problems. It's a small bullet, 22. Let me show you. I mean, that's a little bullet. So it's basically a controlled explosion. Fires off a bullet, pushes back the slide, sets another bullet in the chamber. But with less power, there's going to be more feeding problems. This one doesn't seem to have as many feeding problems. I've had 2, maybe 3 problems, and I used tons of bulk ammo, just cheap bulk ammo. It probably could have been the ammo. I'm not sure for sure, but anyway, the most reliable semi-auto 22 I've dealt with. Now, yes, a revolver is going to be more reliable. There's nothing that can go wrong, really. Fewer parts, less problems, right? But kind of a pain to reload. And most of them have pretty stiff triggers. I don't like that. I like this. I can reload it just in a second or so, and it's reliable. Best of both worlds. Now, I've already shown y'all, but I'll just show y'all again. You get one of these, you'll have 2 different grip panels. Got a small one and a large one. This one has a larger hump. You get more surface area, something to grip onto. And you get 2 types of base plates. Get this one that extends down and this flat one. So I guess if you're a petite woman or a kid or something, that might work out. Most of us are going to use this. It's very similar to the Walther, I like the Walther. It has some feeding problems, but I learned a trick on that. Just put a little bit of oil on the side and the bullets. Not really that good of an idea to overlube your guns, but just a tad, and it seems to work. But it's a pain to clean. But if your life depends on it, hey, you're going to keep that thing clean and maintained anyway, right? This you don't have to worry about it. Very reliable, cheap ammo. So even I haven't had any problems with good ammo. like CCI. Never had any problems with that. You have I've got a dummy round in this thing. You can see that in there just because it's center fire. You're not supposed to dry fire them, so I keep that in there. But let's pop that out. Anyway, I'll show you all that. You've got a safety decock lever, right? So when you decock it, some people may get nervous because the hammer just drops back. Don't worry about it. It's a decocker, like a HK or something. Nothing to worry about. You decide you're not going to use it, turn it on, put the safety on. There you go. Right? Magazines, if you want to practice the range, just got a little slide. You pull it down, drop your rounds in. There you go. So quick to reload. You can spend all day. Most importantly, like I said, it's very reliable with cheap ammo. So when you need it, you pull the trigger, it's going to go off. That's the most important thing. I would say, as far as in a crisis, it better work. Now, working with bulk ammo is great too because, well, shot placement. However, you need to be good enough to get those shots on target. Meaning, for 20 bucks, big old box 525 federal bulk ammo, you can spend all day at the range. And therefore you'd get good. Right? Practice makes perfect. You're not going to get, be a good shot overnight. It takes time. Now, let's go in. Also, there's lights and lasers you can put on there. They're kind of pricey. You can probably find some aftermarkets, but I'm not into that. I just like them plain Jane. But let's go into the ammo. There's two things I'd recommend. As before, and I just put them in this case, but the CCI segmented hollow points. They come in boxes of 50. I just put them in here. Because it's a short barrel, unlike a rifle, you don't have the velocity needed to get the hollow point to expand, right? These are segmented. They're made to break up, and they're meant for taking out like coyote. I mean, talking about, they got some size on them. This will put a coyote down. So if there's somebody coming after you, you think your life's in danger, that's going to put the hurt to them big time. And the other thing would be these, my other choice, the 60 grain Agulha subsonic, right? 60 grain. Think about it. Your AR-15 fires the typical is going to be a 55 grain, 5.56 or 2.23, right? So, 60. The penetrators are 62 grain, so that's a pretty heavy bullet for a 22, and that's going to put the hurt to them. And another thing, subsonic. If you're half asleep, your senses are kind of dulled out. It's a rude awakening, man. If you're going to have to use this thing in the middle of the night, last thing you need is big old flashes and super loud noises, just with your senses already all messed up. So, for some people it may be a factor. I don't know. I've never been in that spot, but who knows? Just something to think about. And then, if you just want penetration, here you go. The Agulha Super Maximum Hypervelocity. There's round nose and hollow point. Like I said, you're not going to get the velocity needed for maximum expansion, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference. But they outperform CCI Stingers and Velocitors. This is the hottest 22 you can get on the market if you want just penetration. Alright? But there you go. This is what I recommend. Compact. You can use it at the range. It's reliable. And then teamed up with the right ammo, either one of these two or maybe alternate, and you're good to go. Anyway, it's just my opinion. You guys leave your comments in the box. If you've got a question, ask me, or if I miss something, tell me. I learn from you guys, you learn from me. That's how it works. Right? Anyway, y'all have a good one. Hopefully this helps somebody out.